Hi, and welcome back to step 4 of the Carmichael Estate. You've made it all the way to stairs. We've gone through linking and setting up our file all the way to adding windows and doors. Now we're ready to add stairs. So in this video, we're going to add the different types of stairs. We'll be working mostly on level 2, some on level 1.
But before we do anything, we're going to modify our floors. When we originally created our floors on both level 1 and level 2, we didn't actually allow for the space that you have in the floor to rise from level 1 to level 2 and from level 2 to level 3. So if you notice right here in the curved area where the stairs go, there's a floor where there shouldn't be. And same in the area from the garage to the apartment. So to modify the floor, the first thing we're going to do is open level 2 because that's where we're going to get started. Let's go ahead and cut a section. Cut it roughly all the way from your left to your right, crossing the entire building, just like this. After you do that, go ahead and close out your 3D view. So close out any inactive views and then open your section. So click on the section head, right click, go to view, and this is what you should see. What we want to do is we want to modify the floor in level 2. So select it, and then in your modify panel, in your ribbon, you can hit edit boundary. From there, hit floor plan, level 2, architectural, and hit open view. It then puts you in draw mode and you can see your boundary lines where you created your floors. What we want to do, we want to go ahead and delete the boundary around the garage. There should not be a floor 3 feet off level 1 in the garage. It simply blocks your way from going up the stairs and you wouldn't be able to drive in from the street. So to do that, I'm going to highlight the majority of my lower lines in the garage and delete them. So all I did, just so you see, let me undo, is holding my mouse, I clicked once and just did a cross box from my left to my right and selected all the lines that I want to delete. Now they're selected and highlighted, so I'm going to use my keyboard and hit delete. Then I'm going to take this wall on the left side of the garage and just drag it straight up to the wall in my mudroom. From there, I'm going to create a new boundary line or add an additional one and drag it from left to right horizontally. But I'm going to come out just a little bit and create a landing for the top of those stairs so that when you walk up them, you can go directly into the mudroom. You have a little landing spot in case you need to set something down or really just to stand on. And I'm going to drag it all the way over afterwards to connect with my other boundary lines. From there, I'm going to go ahead and delete this boundary line that's on the right side as well. And then just to keep everything as clean as possible, and instead of having it connect right here in the middle, I'm going to delete this line as well. And then just continue stretching out the boundary line I just created, connecting it with the other boundary line closest to. So now this is what your boundary line should look like. Now that you have a closed loop, this is what it should look like. Next, we'll go to level 3 and we'll create a few openings in the floor so that you can rise from level 2 to level 3. So now that our boundary line is completed, let's go ahead and hit our green checkbox. Select Don't Attach. And there you'll see the new floors. Now keep in mind in certain areas, they do have their own boundaries because those are the areas that we were planning to render out. Go ahead and hit Save. Go back to your section. Now highlight the floor on level 3. Again, select Edit Boundary Line. And this time scroll down until you get Floor Plan Level 3 Architectural and Open View. Now here, all we have to do is create some open loops so that our boundary lines create a space in the floor. So to do that, I'm going to start with the straight stairs in the back that came up from the kitchen to level 3. I'm going to select my rectangle. I'm going to zoom in. Then I'm just going to select the corner in the upper left and drag down and open to the corner in the lower right. Go ahead and hit Escape one time. And this is what you should have so far. So now you see that you have a loop, almost like you did in the conversation pit, but we have to do something a little bit different with apartment over the garage, should I say. Almost like we did on level 2, we have to delete the boundary line and we're going to have to create its own floor. So delete all the lines around the garage and create new boundary lines that do not include the garage. We'll add a new floor in just a moment. Let's go ahead and do the same thing around the curvature of the stairs. I'm going to delete this southern boundary line. I'm going to raise up that lower boundary line and continue creating it, but not creating it around the staircase. So I'm going to go back to my arc, align it with the stairs. And then I'm just going to zoom in. So I modified that a little bit and use my pick line. I'm going to zoom in and raise that up so it doesn't intersect each other, because remember, you have to have a closed loop. Then I'm going to lower this arc just a little bit. I'm going to use my pick line to create that last line so that it matches up. I'm also going to use my pick line on this arc over here. And then I'm just going to raise this boundary line up. And I'm going to create, instead of angling it towards each other, I'm just going to create a small little connection point right there. I'm going to zoom in right here and make sure these intersect properly. Otherwise, I'll end up with an error message. And now I have a fully closed boundary loop. I'm going to go ahead and click my green check mark, select Don't Attach, and there you have it. You'll notice that in the stairs from the foyer to the hallway, there is not a blue bounded section for the floor. That's so you can rise from level 1 to level 2, and the same for level 2 to level 3. And there you have it. You'll notice that your blue fill is only showing where the floor is supposed to be. We have to go back and add floor for the garage or the apartment over the garage. But now you're able to rise from level 2 to level 3 in the foyer. You're able to rise from level 2 to level 3 from the kitchen area. And then momentarily, again, we will create the floor in the garage area. And then later in this video, we'll create a floor going from level 2 to level 3 that you have going around the library. And then we'll add railing so you can look down into the lower levels. Okay. So after you click out of your floor, we can go ahead and create a new floor. From architecture, go to floor, select line, start in the lower area of the apartment in the garage, right under the stairs. And let's trace out everything around the apartment with the exception of the stairs. Come down and then stop right at the top of your stairs. Cross over to your right some. Come back down. And go back to your left. And then just drag up your boundary line to ensure that it connects. So this will create a floor with an opening to be able to rise from level 1 to level 3 going into the apartment, creating a landing at the top of the stairs. Go ahead and select your green checkbox. Select Don't Attach. And now we can delete our section. Say OK. Let's go ahead and save. And now we can begin creating our stairs.
Go ahead and open level 2. And from level 2, let's go ahead and look at the elevation. I'm going to open my southern elevation, my southern exterior elevation. And this is one of the first things you want to do, just so when you're working with your stairs, you understand how many feet you have to rise before you get to the next level. That's why we put those dimensions in the very beginning. So from level 1 to level 2, our stairs will need to go 3 feet. And from level 2 to level 3, we will need to go 12 feet. Let's go ahead and go back to level 2. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on my back stairs because we want to start with something easy. If you notice in the Carmichael Estate, there are various different types of stairs. This is to give you practice creating multiple types. So to start, we're going to do a short straight run. Let's go ahead and zoom into the stairs that are located in the kitchen. From your architecture tab, go ahead and select stairs. under the circulation panel. This will take you into draw mode. You'll notice that there's different types of stairs. The selections are automated stairs that Revit creates for you with just a little bit of information input into properties by you. Then at the bottom, you have Create Sketch, which allows you to create stairs with a customized shape. Let's look at the types of stairs that we have. We have a straight run, which is what we'll be creating first. We have a full step spiral, which is what we will be creating in the library. There are center end spirals, L-shaped winders, and U-shaped winders. You'll notice that creating stairs requires 3 steps: your run, your landing, and your support. When creating automated stairs, it's automatically done for you. You will need to use these features when you use your Create Sketch. So first, let's go ahead and select straight stairs. After you select straight stairs, we need to view our constraints and make sure everything is set up properly. So from our properties, we're going to use the drop down and we're going to select 7-inch max riser, 11-inch tread. Let's talk about the difference between a riser and tread. The riser is the step height that allows you to get up to the next level. The tread is the place you put your foot on. So we're going 7 inches in height per step, and each step is going to be 11 inches wide. Again, because these are automated, we can go down to dimensions, and it's already told us based on these dimensions up here that we need 21 steps. So all we have to do is verify that we're on the correct base level and it's going to the correct top level. And because we viewed our elevation, we know that our desired stair height to arrive at the next floor is 12 feet. And that's where those calculations of how many stairs or how many steps you need to get up the stairs. So now that we verified all of our information here, let's hover over our CAD base and let's get our snapping center point and click once. After you click once, you'll see that the cursor has turned into that no symbol. Go ahead and turn your mouse straight. And then if you noticed in the wall, there's some text. Right now it says 2 risers created, 19 remaining. Now remember, our desired number of risers is 21. So each time you move your mouse straight, it's creating additional risers for you. So right now where my mouse currently is at, I have 9 risers created and 12 remaining. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out so I can see that text as I continue to finish the staircase. And I want to go all the way to where it says 21 risers created and 0 remaining. When I get there, I'm going to click one time. You'll notice it has a 1 at the beginning for the first riser and a 21 at the end or the top for the last riser. It's also automatically created that run for you. So now that everything looks correct, it's fitting within our walls, we can hit the green checkbox. For now that we're done looking at that, we can go ahead and select our finish edit mode. So click your green checkbox to exit out of draw mode to create those stairs. Once you've done that, you'll notice it automatically created the handrails for you. Because these stairs are within these parallel walls, we're going to select the handrail and we're going to change it to a pipe wall mount. That just changes it to those handrails that are mounted onto the walls. And I'm going to do the same thing with the bottom handrail. So I'm going to click on it one time, go to Properties, use my drop down and change it to a pipe wall mount. Now, because we have floors created in our model, if we go to our 3D view, we're not going to be able to see it that well. So let's go ahead and shoot a perspective. If you remember from the earlier videos, to shoot a perspective, you can go to your quick access toolbar, use the drop down next to your 3D house, and select the camera. Once you select the camera, you can place it in front of the stairs or to be able to view the stairs, your staircase. And there you have it. There are your straight stairs. If you zoom in, you can see your wall-mounted handrail. Let's go ahead and close out of that perspective. And let's do the other straight stairs. Let's look at the ones in the garage. These stairs go from the garage all the way to the 3rd floor to access the apartment above the garage. Now, because you have to access the garage from the 1st level, we need to go ahead and go to level 1. We're going to repeat the same process and use the same type of stairs. So again, go to Architecture, go to Stairs, select your straight run. But this time, we want our base level to be 1, and we want to go to our top level. Click in this field that says L2. A drop-down button will appear. Select it, and let's go ahead and select level 3. In that case, you'll notice that our desired number of risers has changed from 21 to 26. To allow for those additional 3 feet of stairs. So again, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to zoom in and get the center of the stairs on my CAD base. I'm going to click once. That same text appears that tells me how many I've created and how many I have remaining. So I'm going to zoom out so I can continue to see those. And I'm going to drag up until it says 0 remaining. I'm going to click one time, verify that my run is there and that it's going the correct way, which is up. I'm going to select my green checkbox to exit draw mode. And you'll notice it adds the handrails again. And you'll notice it created the handrails for you again. Let's go ahead and change those to the pipe wall mount as well, because these are stairs that are in between walls. Great, now we have the stairs from the garage to the apartment.
It goes from level 1 in the garage to level 2 into the mudroom. So to do that, we need to open up level 1. These are also just straight stairs as well. So just like we did for the stairs in the kitchen and the other stairs in the garage that go to the apartment on the 3rd floor, we're going to go to the Architecture tab. We're going to click on Stairs. We're going to use our straight run. And then everything should be calculated out for you still on your constraints. So we're going from the base level 1 to the top level of level 2. Our desired stair height overall is 3 feet. Therefore, our number of risers should be 6. And we are still using the assembled stairs, the 7-inch max riser and 11-inch tread. So go ahead and click on the center point of your CAD base on level 1. Drag up. You'll still have the text referencing the number of stairs created and the number remaining. So you see we have 2 risers that have been created so far and 4 remaining. Drag up until there's 0 remaining. Click once. And you'll notice you have your bottom stair and then your 6th step all the way at the top. If you notice, the CAD base, the stairs are a little bit wider than what we just created in Revit. What you want to do is select the stairs. And when you select the stairs, you'll see that these pull bars appear. Go ahead and use the pull bars to drag down and align it with your landing that you created. Do the same at the top and drag it all the way to the wall, and then exit draw mode by selecting your green checkbox. Let's go ahead and shoot a perspective and take a look at it. So remember to shoot a perspective, go to our quick access toolbar, use the drop down and select the camera. I'm going to do it from about right here and capture the majority of the stairs. Now, since it's such a low height, you really don't need these rails. So we can either delete them or we can change the style. I'm going to go ahead and delete them. And our CAD base is still in there, which is why you see it. You can hide it in view. And I was just using my right click on my mouse. Select hide in view. And there you have it. You'll see you can go from the first floor to the top floor. Move on to the stairs that lead kitchen to the backyard. Before we do anything, it's been a while, so let's go ahead and save our project. Okay, next, what I want to do before I start the stairs is instead of using the landing within the stair mode, I want to use a floor to create the landing. So to do so, I'm going to verify that I'm on level 2 still. I'm going to go to floor. I'm going to use my concrete 4-inch. That's the one we've been using, so we can continue to do so. And don't worry about it being concrete everywhere. We can go ahead and adjust later when we're doing our renderings, and we'll be able to duplicate and create new materials. So to create that floor, now that I'm in draw mode, I'm going to select my rectangle. I'm going to zoom in to the upper the upper left corner and drag down to the lower right. Once I do that, I'm just going to select my green checkbox, close out of draw mode, and now I'm ready to begin my stairs. Go to level 1, because these stairs are going to go up from level 1 to level 2. So go to our architecture tab, go to stairs, select our straight run, just as we have been doing. We're going to follow all the same guidelines using the 7-inch max riser, 11-inch tread. All of our constraints should be there, and we still only want 6 steps. So I'm going to start in the center and just keep going up until my text says 6 risers created, 0 remaining. Then I'm going to click once. And just like we did with the stairs going into the mudroom, we're going to highlight the stairs. We're going to use the pull bars and just drag out to create the same width. After we're done with that, we can select the green check mark and it automatically creates the steps. It's up to you if you'd like to leave the handrails. I'm going to leave them this time, but I'm going to change them. So to change them, I'm going to select the first one. And I want to change them at the same time. So using my keyboard, I'm going to hold Control down and click on the second railing. From there, I'm going to change it to handrail rectangular. After I'm done with that, I want to view it. So I'm going to shoot myself a perspective also right here, or I could put it in 3D view. There are stairs leading to our backyard and or into our kitchen. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Our house is shaping up quite well. It's time to tackle something a little harder. Let's try the spiral staircase in the library. Go ahead and open up level 2. Let's zoom in to our spiral staircase and note that you go up right here and wind around and end up back right here. From here, we'll end up creating a floor on the 3rd level that goes around the library and closes at the other end of the spiral staircase. Then we'll add railing to the floor as well. But let's create our stairs first. Again, make sure you're on level 2. Architecture tab, stairs, and this time select your full step spiral. Instead of your assembled stairs, let's use the stringer stairs. Either way, you should still only need 21, and they should still only be 11 inches. What you want to do is you want to zoom in and hover in the center of that spiral staircase. You should get your center mark. Click once. You have your text regarding your risers. Zoom out a little. Just drag your mouse out to where it creates a circle the same size as your CAD base. Once you have that, click one time and it should automatically create your spiral staircase. From there, you can select it and you can zoom in just to make sure you have your arrow pointing to the left. If you need to rotate it slightly, you can do so. You can also put your view in wireframe so that you can see your CAD base a little bit better. When you select your staircase, you can then see that your arrow needs to rotate slightly just to align with the arrow on your CAD base plan. That way you know you're facing the correct direction. After you know that you're facing the correct direction, you can go ahead and put it back in hidden line, and then you're going to select your green check mark to exit out of draw mode. It creates your spiral staircase for you, but these handrails are a little bit rough. Let's view them just so you can see. Again, I'm going to create a perspective, but this time I'm going to shoot my perspective from the very lower left corner of the room. And I'm going to shoot it so I can see the conversation pit as well as the spiral staircase. Starting to look pretty cool, right? I'm going to go ahead and in this view, go to View Template, turn on my architectural 3D presentation, just like we have in previous videos. I'm going to hit Override on the Visibility Graphics. I'm going to verify that I'm on the Import tab. And I'm going to turn off any imports. I'm going to hit Apply. Okay. Apply and OK. There's our spiral staircase. Everything is grayed out because we haven't applied any textures or colors. So this is still a pretty cute spiral staircase, but let's change the railing by selecting it and highlighting it. And I'm going to go handrail rectangular. Just makes it a little more organic. And I'm going to do the same on the inside so that it flows better. And there's our spiral staircase. So now we need to go to the third floor and we're going to create a floor. Go to Architecture tab, go to Floors. This time we're going to use line. We're going to align it to our staircase, our spiral staircase. Let's use our pick line to make sure we get to the front of that spiral staircase. You can also put it in 3D view. Just to make sure you're getting the exact front of your staircase. Because you're still in draw mode, you can see your boundary line. Go back to level 3. Select line again. Make sure it's connected. And start creating your floor around your room. Come up. And then we're going to select our arc, or you can use your pick line to create that half circle. And click and drag and bring it down to where it aligns with your outer boundary line and connect it together with a smaller boundary line. And now come back around. I'm going to use my pick line to get that curve just the way I want it. And I'm just going to go back and forth between my straight line, my arc, or I'm going to use my pick line the entire time, whatever you're more comfortable with. The pick line can be a lot faster as long as you know your boundary lines are connecting. So if you are using your pick line, make sure your boundary lines are connecting. Now remember, you can't cross over boundary lines. They have to be connected. I can see I have a fully closed loop, and then I could click my green check mark. Select Don't Attach, and there's my floor. So let's look at it in 3D view again. Now you see you have a floor going around your room, but you still need some type of guardrail because without it, that's just disaster waiting to happen. So to add the railing, go back to level 3, go back to your architecture tab, and this time just select railing. Use your drop down and sketch path we want our handrail rectangular so that it matches our stairs. And you can use your pick line just so you get the correct lines and just follow along, creating your boundary line. The only difference with the handrail boundary line is it does not have to be a closed loop. Then you can select your green check mark. And there you have it. There's your railing inside your library with your spiral staircase. You can also edit it and get rid of the railing right here, since that's really not a walkable area, and just keep your railing like that. Looking really well. It's going to be a fun room for sure. Of stairs. Let's go ahead and create our final 2 sets of stairs. Go ahead and open level 2, whether you're in your perspective view or your 3D view. Go to your project browser and double click on level 2 architectural. Now, all we have left are the curved stairs and the entryway stairs. Let's start with the curved stairs. And just like we have been doing, in your ribbon, go to the circulation panel and select stairs. This time, we're going to go to Create Sketch. Select Create Sketch. And over in your properties, you'll notice that it doesn't say 7-inch riser and 11-inch tread. It says non-monolithic run. It doesn't automatically calculate our height of our risers and the height of the stairs. So essentially, what a non-monolithic run is it means it's not solid or continuous. Our stairs that are automated for us are monolithic because it's already automated and it's a continuous run. Let's look at our constraints and look at our relative base height. It's set at 0, 0 because that means your base level. Because we're going to draw our stairs out physically in 2D, it's going to generate the proper height based on the length of the run and the width of the risers as we place them. The very first thing we have to do is we have to create a boundary. So just like in floors, just like in ceilings, we have to create a boundary. So we're going to start our boundary with a straight line. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in to the bottom of my stairs. And I'm going to catch that snapping point as best as I can at that intersection. And I'm going to drag my straight line up right until the snapping point of the curve. It might be a little bit hard to see, but your boundary line this time is green. After you've created that straight line, go ahead and hit escape 1 time. You should still be in sketch mode and you should still be in the boundary line sketch. This time we want to draw another straight line on the right side up until it starts curving. Once you do that, and yes, it will be shorter than the curve on the left side, you can hit escape 1 time. Now, what you can do is you can either use your start end arc or your pick lines to do the next part. I would recommend pick lines so that it automatically creates it, but be careful when using your pick line that you're not creating too many individual lines. See how it's creating very short lines? We want something long like this. So in this case, I'm going to use my pick line for this arc. And I'm going to use my pick line over here because when I hover, it catches a long continuous line. And then I'm going to go and change to my start and arc radius and connect that last small line. Once I've done that, I'm going to hit escape. Now, we've talked about boundaries and we've talked about how boundaries need a closed loop and or cannot have any intersecting lines. The same is true for the boundary sketch in stairs. However, you're not going to use the boundary line to close the two parallel lines. You're going to use your risers to close those lines. So after you do your boundaries and you have two parallel runs, you'll notice the same text when you're running your monolithic, your standard stairs, your automated stairs, that it still says risers created and 21 remaining. That 0 is hidden and it's because it's gray that you're not able to see it. But if I zoom out, you can see that it says 0 risers created and 21 remaining. So now, again, that our boundary is created, these parallel lines, I'm going to move without closing sketch mode and click on riser. You'll know that you're on riser because it's highlighted in blue. You can, again, use your pick line or you can draw. However, because of these dashed lines, I definitely recommend using your straight line and just following along the curve. So go ahead and click the lower right end of your stairs and drag it over, closing your parallel lines and creating your first riser. When I zoom out, you can see that it says 1 riser created, 20 remaining. And you'll also notice that it is a white line. If you are in light mode, it's going to be a black line. If you are in dark mode, like I am, it's going to be a white line. From there, just go in and draw your lines on top of your CAD base plan. Now, be very careful and zoom in and out and pan as necessary because your riser line cannot go past your boundary line. And then just repeat the step 21 times. Again, being very careful not to go over that boundary line. If you do, you will get errors. As I start to get towards the top of my stairs, you'll have to start following the bottom dash line as it starts to curve. Your line is still straight, but it is now starting to curve around the width radius. Still bring it out and make sure you connect it to your boundary line. And as you get to the end, zoom out and make sure you're at 20 and that you have one remaining, because the final one needs to be the one that closes your boundary line. But still copy your base plan. We can adjust the boundary line to bring it down so that the width of the stairs of the risers stays the same. So if you notice right here, my boundary goes past my riser. So I'm going to bring it down. Same right here. Now, the next thing we have to do when sketching our stairs is to create a path. To do so, go ahead and click on Stair Path. We're going to do the same thing we did with the boundary lines. We're going to go straight up, and then we're going to use our radius. After you've selected line, click in the midpoint of your risers. Connect it to the bottom, and then bring it to your top riser and get your midpoint. Create the arc. You'll notice that the dimension creates almost a perfect circle when you zoom out. Then go ahead and click one time. After you're done with your stair path, you can select your green check mark. And now you should be completed with your stairs. Now, after I create this green check mark, if there's any errors, it will appear in the lower right portion of my screen, and it will highlight the errors in orange. Great, no errors. It has created my stairs just like it did if we were creating automated stairs. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to finish my edit mode and click my green check mark again. There are my curved stairs. On the outside of my curved stairs, I want to change that to handrail rectangular. And then for the handrail that's on the wall, I'm going to change that to a pipe wall mount. Now that our curved stairs are finished, let's go ahead and take a look at them with the perspective view. Here are your stairs. And you can see when I click on the ceiling that it goes up and through the ceiling to get to the third level. We're in the home stretch. We're almost done with stairs. Our house is shaping up really nice, and I'm very excited to start being able to find furniture and build furniture that we can use to decorate the home with. But first, let's go ahead and finish our entryway stairs, and finally, the stairs down to the conversation pit. Before we begin our entryway stairs, just like we did in the backyard, we need to build a landing somewhere to be able to step into the home. So we're going to start off on level 2. We're going to go to floor and just use the same concrete floor that we've been using. I'm going to do my line. And I'm just going to create a U shape with my boundary. From there, I'm going to go ahead and select my same start and radius arc that we've been using and bring it down and close that loop. Once I'm done, I'm going to close sketch mode with the green check mark. Once we're done with the floor to create the landing, we're then going to go to level 1. Go ahead and close any inactive views so we don't accidentally create something on the wrong floor. Let's go ahead and save also. And just like we did the curved stairs, we're going to sketch these stairs out. So go to stairs again. Go to create sketch. And create your boundary. our start and radius arc again. Click on the upper part of the floor and then the lower corner of the stairs. And then I'm just going to bring my curve in to match what's on my CAD plan. And I'm going to repeat the same steps on the left side. Once I've done that, again, our next step is to create our risers. So we're going to go to riser and then just go ahead and stay on your start and radius arc. It will be easier and faster for you to do. Click it once. 0 risers created, 6 remaining. Let's go corner to corner. Bring our radius out and repeat ourselves 6 times. Almost there. And remember, our final riser has to close the loop for the boundary. So we've created 6 risers. We have 0 remaining. So our final step in this staircase is to create the stair path. Go ahead and create your stair path going up. I know that your staircase says down. Either way, it will create it. If they have to, you can flip it. We're going to create it going up. Once we've done that, select our green check mark once, twice, and there are our stairs. Let's go ahead and delete these handrails because we could always decorate with some type of bush, trees, rocks, or something on the end. Finally, let's do our curved stairs in the conversation pit. Still on level 1. Open your stairs back up. Sketch them again. First, we're going to go ahead and use the start end radius arc. Trace the outside of your base plan. Escape once. Same on the inner side. Now we're going to use the straight line for our riser, but we have to click on riser first. Same thing, 6 stairs. So very quickly, you can zoom in and see that there's continuous lines. So in that case, because there's so many continuous lines, you can quickly just use your pick lines. So after I get to 6 created and 0 remaining, I noticed that the correct height of the stairs do not match the CAD plan. So I'm going to go with what Revit is telling me. And then I'm just going to shorten my boundary. I'm going to create my stair path. And for this one, just because there's all curved, I'm just going to do the start and arc radius again, quickly create the run and a curve. Once I'm done, I'm going to select my green check mark 1, 2 times. And same thing, because it's only 3 feet, I'm going to delete the handrails. So it's also your choice because the top step will be even with the stairs. You can leave it like this so they can just walk onto the floor. Or if you'd like, you can create a wider landing. I am personally just going to leave it like this. And now I'm just going to throw it in 3D and just take a quick glance around. There are my curved stairs, my spiral stairs, the stairs from the first level to the third level in the apartment. And if I turn it to the back and bring it down, bring it down just a little more, you can see the stairs from the kitchen to the third floor. Great job, everybody. We've done quite a bit. That's it for your lessons on stairs.